In the quiet and seemingly idyllic town of Ravenswood, nestled deep within the moors of Britain, a dark secret lurked within the historic houses and cottages. A secret so sinister that it made the townsfolk shudder and fear every time the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows upon the cobblestone streets. Legend spoke of animated skeletons, creatures that once dwelled in the deepest corners of closet storage, waiting for their chance to escape their eternal imprisonment. These undead beings were born from a combination of ancient curses, forbidden magic, and the lingering souls of those who were consumed by darkness. The townspeople knew not to pry into the past, for fear of awakening the very skeletons they wished to keep locked away. Generations had come and gone, sharing whispers of encounters with the material undead, their hollow laughter echoing in the depths of the night. Young Rachel, a curious and adventurous girl, had always been captivated by the tales passed down from her ancestors. The tales of the animated skeletons in the closet intrigued her the most. She couldn't resist delving deeper into the history of Ravenswood, even though others warned her to turn away. One eerie evening, when mist blanketed the town, Rachel set off on a chilling adventure in search of the truth, armed with only a flickering lantern and her unwavering determination. She wandered the silent streets until she stumbled upon a decrepit cottage, forgotten by time. As she gingerly pushed open the creaking door, the sound echoed throughout the stillness, reaching the ears of the hidden skeletons. The dormant creatures stirred, their bones rattling against one another, eager to be freed from their eternal slumber. Unbeknownst to Rachel, her presence had awakened an army of skeletal beings. The air turned frosty, and she felt an invisible gaze upon her as she cautiously ventured deeper into the dimly lit cottage. The walls whispered secrets of long-gone days as she approached a hidden closet, said to be the gateway to the realm of the undead. Rachel's heart raced with anticipation as she slowly pulled open the closet doors. With a sudden surge of ethereal energy, the animated skeletons burst forth, a cacophony of rattling bones and spectral essence. Their chilling blue eyes met Rachel's gaze, piercing her very soul. Yet, instead of terror, she felt empathy and longing within their empty eye sockets. The skeletons were trapped, bound within the earthly realm, searching for release and peace. In their days of human existence, they had been tainted by evil and became prisoners of their own darkness. Rachel, driven by compassion, made a pact with the skeletons. She promised to delve into the mysteries of Ravenswood, to uncover the truth behind their eternal torment. In exchange, they pledged to aid her, to guide her through the murky depths of the town's sinister past. As their eerie alliance grew, Rachel discovered that the skeletons' freedom relied on the unraveling of a centuries-old curse that had plagued Ravenswood, hidden in ancient tomes and whispered within the town's forgotten tales. The key to liberation awaited her. Little did she know, her quest would uncover long-buried secrets, ancient curses, and the true horrors lurking within the shadows of Ravenswood. The animated skeletons were but a small part of the darkness that loomed over the town, their story intertwined with a much larger tapestry crowded by evil and despair. As Rachel delved deeper into the haunting secrets of Ravenswood, she discovered that the animated skeletons were part of a much larger network of malevolent forces that plagued the town. It seemed that the curse that bound them was a mere thread in the tapestry of darkness woven through the land. Guided by the animated skeletons, Rachel unearthed a forgotten underground chamber hidden beneath the town's ancient chapel. Within its damp and crypt-like walls, she found cryptic writings etched onto crumbling tablets, foretelling a prophecy of doom that threatened the very fabric of the town. According to the writings, Ravenswood had long been a hotbed of dark magic and forbidden rituals. Centuries ago, an evil sorcerer named Malachi Ravenswood had cursed the town, condemning its citizens to an eternity of suffering. The animated skeletons were the tormented remnants of those who had perished under his malevolent reign. Rachel's heart pounded as she realized the weight of her task. She had to break the curse and save Ravenswood from its perpetual state of despair. But to accomplish this, she would need to confront the wicked spirit of Malachi Ravenswood himself. Within the crypt, Rachel stumbled upon an ancient artifact, a silver amulet pulsating with an otherworldly aura. That amulet radiated a faint energy that the skeletons recognized as the key to severing their ties to the mortal realm. With trembling hands, Rachel fastened the amulet around her neck, feeling its power surge through her veins. As she ascended from the underground chamber, Rachel's surroundings transformed into a nightmarish landscape. The once familiar streets of Ravenswood had warped and twisted, buildings decayed, their windows aglow with an ominous green light. The animated skeleton stood by her side, watching with hollow eyes as the town shifted around them. Driven by her determination, Rachel pressed on, her footsteps echoing through eerily deserted streets. Strange whispers followed her from the shadows, and eerie laughter carried on the wind. The town seemed to taunt her, testing her resolve and sanity. With her undead allies leading the way, Rachel arrived at Ravenswood Manor, the grand estate where Malachi Ravenswood once dwelled. The dilapidated manor exuded an oppressive aura, a beacon of evil in the heart of the cursed town. As she stepped through its rotting doors, the air grew heavy with a palpable malevolence. Within the manor's crumbling halls, Rachel confronted the ghostly apparition of Malachi Ravenswood. His eyes gleamed with wicked delight as he seemed to materialize out of thin air, his ethereal form both terrifying and mesmerizing. He taunted Rachel with his power, promising to drag the town further into eternal darkness. But Rachel, fueled by her newfound purpose, refused to be consumed by fear. With the amulet pulsating, she summoned the strength to challenge Malachi's malevolent reign. In a clash of mystic forces, she wielded the power of light against his consuming darkness, determined to break the curse once and for all. As their battle raged on, the very fabric of Ravenswood quivered, torn between salvation and eternal damnation. With a surge of energy, Rachel battered Malachi's malevolent spirit, weakening his grip on the town. The animated skeletons, their spectral forms flickering with renewed hope, rallied behind her, lending their ethereal strength to seal his defeat. But the battle was not yet over. As Rachel stood amidst the crumbling remains of Ravenswood Manor, she realized that the curse's hold on the town was not solely reliant upon Malachi Ravenswood alone. Dark relics and lingering shadows still marred the land, needing to be purged for complete liberation. Undeterred, Rachel and the animated skeletons embarked on a perilous quest, journeying through forgotten catacombs and accursed landmarks. Together, they sought out the hidden artifacts and remnants of the town's wicked past, ready to confront each malevolent presence that stood in their path. Their journey would lead them down twisted paths, haunted forests, and into the very heart of their darkest nightmares. The animated skeletons served as both protectors and guides, each carrying a fragment of memory from their former lives, forging the way towards redemption and freedom. As Rachel and her newfound allies ventured deeper into Ravenswood's harrowing abyss, they could sense the final confrontation drawing near. This battle would decide the true fate of the town, determining whether it would forever be shrouded in darkness or emerge into the light once more. As Rachel and her companions delved deeper into Ravenswood's nightmarish abyss, the weight of their mission bore down on them with every step. The town's twisted secrets and malevolent entities grew more formidable, determined to resist any attempts at liberation. Whispers of dark rituals and ancient incantations haunted their ears. As they passed through the desolate remnants of the cursed town, supernatural apparitions along the way attempted to lead them astray, but Rachel's unwavering resolve kept them on the path of redemption. Finally, after facing countless trials, they arrived at the town's forsaken chapel, the epicenter of the darkness that had plagued Ravenswood for centuries. Its weather-worn facade bore the scars of dark magic, and a suffocating miasma hung in the air, betraying the malicious enchantments that lingered within. Within the chapel's crumbling walls, an ethereal figure awaited Rachel, a twisted sorceress, the ancient conduit of the curse that had bound the town for generations. With eyes that reflected the depths of despair and a voice hushed yet pregnant with power, the sorceress stood as a final obstacle. An intense battle of wills ensued as Rachel drew upon the strength of the animated skeletons, the amulet's divine energy pulsing through her veins. The sorceress fought to maintain her grasp on Ravenswood, unleashing spectral creatures and conjuring illusions to deceive and disorient. But Rachel's determination burned brighter than the sorceress's evil. She faced her fears head-on, breaking through the darkest corners of her mind, forging her own power from the remnants of her ancestors' tales and the strength of those who had suffered before her. With a final surge of energy, Rachel unleashed a beam of pure light that shattered the sorceress's hold on Ravenswood. The curse unraveled, swirling away into dissipating mist as if it had never existed, leaving behind a town reborn in the twilight of salvation. As the animated skeletons collapsed to the ground, finally freed from their eternal torment, a sense of tranquility washed over Ravenswood. The once quiet streets now resonated with hope as the townspeople emerged from their homes, their faces filled with awe and gratitude at the newfound peace that embraced their small corner of Britain. Rachel and the animated skeletons basked in the joyous moment, their journey of darkness and redemption reaching its climactic conclusion. They had triumphed over the malevolence that had gripped Ravenswood, and in doing so, had banished the haunting specters of the animated skeletons forever. But within the depths of their victory, a lingering question remained: would the sinister forces that had plagued Ravenswood seek to rise again? Or had their resolute actions secured a future free from the terrors of the undead? Rachel and the animated skeletons soon realized that even as they celebrated their triumph, new whispers of darkness slipped into Ravenswood's alleys and through the cracks of its historic cottages. The curse may have been dispelled, but the town would forever stand on the precipice of fragile peace and encroaching shadows. Just as the animated skeletons had emerged from their closets, Rachel understood that her journey was far from over. The town still held dark secrets, and vigilance would be needed to ensure the encroachment of evil would cease. With a steely resolve in her eyes, Rachel stood among the animated skeletons, ready to embrace her role as the town's guardian. Together, they would continue to protect Ravenswood, ensuring that the small town in Britain would forever be known as a place that triumphed over darkness and kept the skeletons in the closet where they belonged. As Rachel and the animated skeletons stood together, basking in the hard-won victory, a sense of unease settled over Ravenswood. The air grew heavy, and an unsettling stillness hung around them, as if the town itself held its breath, waiting for the next wave of darkness to break upon its shores. Whispers began to circulate among the townsfolk, stories of strange occurrences and restless spirits that lingered despite the lifting of the curse. It became clear that the animated skeletons were not the only manifestations of the town's haunted past. Rachel felt a pang of guilt as she realized her journey had merely scratched the surface of the true horrors lurking within Ravenswood. There were forces at play far more malevolent than anyone had anticipated, and the skeletons in the closet were just the tip of the iceberg. Days turned into nights as Rachel delved deeper into the heart of the town's darkness. weaving through forgotten alleys and crumbling houses. She sought answers from the elderly residents who held fragments of buried memories, hoping to unlock the truth behind the continuing horrors. It was during one quiet evening, as she spoke to Grantham, the oldest resident in Ravenswood, that the full extent of the town's plight was revealed. Grantham's eyes widened with fear, his voice quivering, as he revealed an ancient ritual Gonoria's sacrifice meant. To quell the supernatural forces had instead bound Ravenswood to an eternal cycle of suffering and despair. Rachel's heart sank, realizing the enormity of the task that lay before her. To break the insidious spell, she would need to unravel the threads of this long-forgotten ritual, a journey that would take her to the very heart of darkness that consumed the town. Armed with newfound determination and the support of the animated skeletons, Rachel embarked on a perilous quest. She braved treacherous marshes, trekked through cavernous tunnels, and ventured into ancient ruins shrouded in sinister whispers. The deeper Rachel traveled, the more the shadows seemed to ebb and flow round her, whispering secrets and filling her mind with haunting visions of the past. Familiar faces distorted, revealing grotesque visages of despair, and spectral voices urged her to turn back, lest she succumb to the unfathomable horrors that awaited her. But Rachel pressed on, guided by an inner strength and an unyielding loyalty of her skeletal companions. She entangled the web of dark rituals and unearthed forgotten relics, each piece slotting into place like a macabre puzzle. Finally, as moonlight cast an eerie glow upon an ancient stone circle in the heart of the moors, Rachel found herself face to face with the epitome of evil, the malevolent entity bound to Ravenswood by the ill-fated ritual. Its form was an amalgamation of shadow and despair, capable of twisting reality itself. Energy crackled in there as Rachel and the malignant being engaged in a desperate battle, wielding powers that threatened to unravel the fragile fabric of existence. The animated skeletons fought valiantly by Rachel's side, their spectral forms flickering with ethereal brilliance. With each blow, the entity's grip on Ravenswood weakened, but it fought back with a vicious intensity, desperate to maintain its hold on the haunted town. Dark tendrils snaked out, corrupting the land and attempting to ensnare Rachel's very soul. But she drew upon the strength of her skeletal allies, the echoes of those who had suffered and perished within Ravenswood, and summoned a spiritual force they created together, an all-encompassing light that banished the malevolent entity once and for all. As the entity's dark essence dissipated into the night, Ravenswood stood cleansed of its cursed past. The animated skeletons, now free from their torment forever, watched with hollow eyes as the town breathed a collective sigh of relief. But Rachel knew that darkness would always find a way to seep back, that vigilance would forever be required to protect Ravenswood from its lurking shadows. She vowed to remain watchful, ready to confront any future malevolence that dared to emerge. And so, with a town still scarred by its tragic history, Rachel stood among the animated skeletons, a guardian in the darkness, tirelessly ensuring that the horrors residing in the closets of Ravenswood stayed buried, locked away where they belonged.